In chapter 2, Sloka 13 and 14. Shreya and Rupashri ma'am will repeat. Sloka 13. Dehino.
Dehino Sminyata
Dehe.
Dehe
Kaumaram.
Kaumaram
Yauvanam.
Yauvanam
Jara.
Jara
Tatha.
Tatha
Dehan.
Dehan
Tara.
Tara
Praptir.
Praptir
Dhiras.
Dhiras
Tatra.
Tatra
Namuihati.
Namuihate
Shloka 14. Matra.
Matra
Sparshastu.
Sparshastu
Kaunteya.
Kaunteya
Shitoshna.
Shitoshna
Sukhadukkhadaha.
Sukhadukkhadaha
Agamapa.
Agamapa
Yino Nitya.
Yino Nitya
Stansti.
Stansi
Tikshava.
Tikshava
Bharata.
Bharata.
Thank you. Now we will do the meaning. Shloka 13. Shloka 13 meaning. Dehino, of the embodied. Asim, in this. Yatha, as. Dehe, in the body. Kaumaram, childhood. Yauvanam, youth. Jara, old age. Tatha, similarly. Deha antara, another body. Prapti, achieves. Dhira, the wise. Tatra, thereupon. Na muihati, are not deluded. So here Shri Krishna ji has just started to give the teachings. So Shri Krishna ji is the supreme teacher. So we are getting the teachings from him directly. So we all are Arjun over here. We have to consider ourselves as Arjun, and Shri Krishna ji is teaching us. So here he is saying, just as the self or the Atma or the soul within the body continuously passes from childhood to youth and then to old age, similarly at the time of death, the self or the Atma passes into another body. The wise men are not deluded by this. So this is for when someone grieve on somebody's death. So Sri Krishna ji is saying body is not important. What important is soul. And he is explaining how that soul is passing through different bodies. So here is a detailed explanation to Shloka 12. How our body changes its forms in one life. In one life, this body changes so many forms. When it comes on this earth, it is just an infant, small baby, very small. Then it becomes, from the infant, it becomes a small toddler. Then it goes to childhood. Then it goes to youth, and then to old age. Right? Our body changes so many phases. It goes through so many phases. Similarly, the Atma or the soul keeps changing the bodies. Like after the death, the soul passes to another body. Then that body dies, again the soul passes to another body. So hence the wise men shouldn't grieve a lot over this. This is the nature of life and it will always remain so. As Arjun was a wise man, he was not an ordinary man. So Sri Krishna ji is saying that wise men should not grieve over that. It is the nature. It will remain the same. It will not change. It was there, it is now, and it will be there in future as well. That the body will keep on dying, but the soul, which is eternal, will not die. Either it will get moksha or it will keep on taking rebirth on this earth in any living form. So we learn here that no, again and again Sri Krishna ji is telling that we should not mourn over anybody's death. It may be anyone. We need to understand the fact that body is just materialistic thing which is not important. What is important is soul. That is according to Sri Krishna ji. But we as humans, we for us matter is the relationship which exists in the body, right? But is according to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, body is nothing, relationship is nothing, it is all materialistic thing. Our goal should be to achieve the moksha. We should be neutral, equanimous. So this is what is the teaching, which is very difficult. Okay, who is going to explain?
We'll explain. Yeah, ma'am. In this shloka,
In this sloka,
Lord Krishna
Lord Krishna
is telling
was telling
Arjuna
Arjuna
that,
that
like
like
the body
the body
goes through
goes to
childhood,
childhood,
young age,
young age,
and old age,
and old age,
the soul
the soul
also
also
goes through
goes to
different
different
bodies,
bodies,
one after
one after
the other,
the other,
until
until
it
it receives
receives moksha.
moksha.
It will
It will
keep on
keep on
taking
taking
birth
birth
in
in
any
any
of the
of the
living
living
form.
form.
The body
The body
is
is
nothing.
nothing.
Relationships
Essence
are
are
nothing.
nothing.
We need to
We need to
concentrate
concentrate
on
on
the main goal
the main goal
to
to
receive
receive
moksha.
moksha. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Now Anjali ma'am.
I'm so sorry I have not listened the meaning. I will listen everybody and then I will discuss.
Yeah, sure, no problem, Bhuvaji.
Yes, ma'am. This soul, the body goes through different stages in the human's life. That is like childhood, engage, and the old age. But the soul inside the body will pass on from one body to other after the death, in any of the living forms, either like human being or in any of the living things. So we should not get worried if someone dies, or something happens to someone. They'll be again reborn with something else in the earth. So we should not get grieve on the human body, and we should not feel bad for it. So whoever is the wise man, or whoever is the person who thinks all this, will be the wise man.
Thank you, ma'am. Akriti.
Yes, ma'am. Lord Krishna just started teaching that we don't have to worry the body. If the body dies, it's fine because the soul will still always be there. The soul will sleep on in another person or any animal also. So we should not be worried if someone dies. If they get more happy, if will the soul will resolve in another someone else.
Okay, thank you. Shri Krishna Siddhant.
Shri Krishna, ma'am. Today my heat is not. thing up today, so I'll try. Chapter 2, Shloka 11. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochan Anvashocastvam Prajnavadancha Bhashase Gata Sun Agasuncha Nanushocanti Panditaha. Chapter 2, Shloka 12. Na tvevaham jatu nasam na tvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param.
Thank you so much. Okay, we are doing today Shloka 13 and 14. I will explain the Shloka 13 again for Usha Buaji and Siddhant. You know? It's okay, Buaji.
Thank you.
Arey Buaji. Okay, so here Sri Krishna ji is saying that he's saying that what happens to the soul. He's saying that we should not grieve on somebody's death, because he's saying most important is the soul. For according to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna ji, body is not important. What important is soul. So he is saying what happens to that soul. The soul passes to different stages of the life. How? Because when a child is born, no, no, he is an infant, it is so small. Then it goes to toddlers, then it goes to his childhood, then it goes to his youth, then to old age. So that same soul in the same body passes to different level, different stages. Right? The same way, after that body dies, that soul passes to another body. And this process keeps on going on. It was there in the past, it is there now, and it will be there in the future. It will remain the same, it will not change. This process will be there forever. This is what been said in Shloka 13. So Sri Krishna ji is saying that as the soul passes to different stages of life in this body, same way this soul changes different bodies after the body dies. So he is saying that as Arjun, you are the wise man, you should not grieve for that. You should be, you should accept this fact and you should not grieve for that. Okay, this is what been said in Shloka 13. So we will move to Shloka 14. Okay, Shloka 14. Where is done? Matra sparsha, contact of the senses with the sense objects. Tu Indi, Kaunteya Arjun, meaning the son of Kunti. Shita, winter. Ushna, summer. Sukha, happiness. Dukha, distress. Daha, give. Agama, come. Apayina, go. Anitya, non-permanent. Tan, them. Titikshva, tolerate. Bharat, descendant of Bharat. So here Sri Krishna ji is saying, O Kaunteya, that means the son of Kunti, the contact between the senses and the sense objects gives rise to the fleeting perceptions of happiness and distress. These are non-permanent and are constantly changing like heat and cold. O descendant of Bharat, one must learn to tolerate these effects without being disturbed by them. So, did you notice that Sanjay always represents Dhritarashtra as Bharata, and here Lord Shri Krishna represents Arjun as Bharata? So Sanjay was calling the blind king as Bharata, and now in this shloka Shri Krishna ji is calling Arjun as Bharata. So, as mentioned earlier, King Bharat was the descendant of Kuru and Shantanu was the descendant of Bharat. Hence, all the Pandavas and Kauravas are Kurus and Bharata also. So, that is the reason they are being addressed as Bharat. So the here, now back to the shloka, the human body have five senses, right? We have five senses, the sense of sight, smell, taste, touch and hearing. And this in contact with their objects of perception. This senses with the contact, we know come to an conclusion that this is beautiful, this is ugly, this is sweet, this is bitter, aromatic, stinking, we are happy, we are sad, we like the music, we like the loud music. So, these senses give rise to all these feelings, all this happiness or distress. So, no, none of this sensation is permanent. They come and go like the changing seasons. For here, Sri Krishna ji has said, like some heat or cold. Here he has told us heat or cold. They come and go. They are not permanent, right? Winters are not permanent, summers are not permanent. It keeps changing. Although cool water provides pleasure in the summer, the same water gives distress in the winter. Thus, both the perception of happiness and distress experienced through the senses are transitory. If we permit ourselves to be affected by them, we will sway like a pendulum from side to side. A person of discrimination should practice to tolerate both the feelings of happiness and distress without being disturbed by them. So here Sri Krishna ji is saying to control the senses. We have to be neutral, we have to be equanimous. Because none of the senses is permanent. We buy a car, for how long we will be happy? We'll be happy for a week or 10 days or a month. After that, that car becomes old and it is normal for us. The same way, if you buy a new dress, that new dress is for just for the first day. Second day it becomes old. I already wore that dress. So this is what Shri Krishna ji is saying, that we should not be controlled by the senses. Senses should not control us. We need to control the senses. Whatever it gives, whether it's happiness or distress, we should be able to be neutral. Even if we get happiness, it is not that you are jumping, and if you get something sad thing, it is not that you are completely sad, you are completely given up, you are crying. We need to accept the things what we come our way. It is very difficult. Even Lord Sri Krishna ji have said, whatever I am teaching is very difficult, but you have to give it a try. Keep trying. He says that keep trying. Nothing will happen in one day. It is not anything magic, abracadabra, and everything will change. It has to that you are training yourself. It is very difficult thing. For learning anything, understanding everything is very easy. But to follow the path which is given by Srimad Bhagavad Gita is difficult, but it is not impossible. Shri Krishna ji himself is saying it is difficult, but it is not impossible. He is saying you try. When you will try, I will support you. I will be the energy to push you and take you to the path what is being given in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So back to the shloka 14, here Sri Krishna ji is saying that all the happiness and distress, all the feelings comes from the senses. We need to control the senses. Senses should not control us, and we need to train ourselves. So he's calling Arjun as Bharat, and he's saying to control the senses and not to be overdriven by the senses. Okay, who is going to explain? Siddhant?
Yes, ma'am. Can I explain
Siddhant, your voice is breaking.
last shloka and this shloka? Can I explain last shloka and this shloka?
Ha, you can explain any shloka. But your voice is breaking, Siddhant.
Last shloka, Lord Shri Krishna said that
I think Usha Buaji. आप बोलिए.
Yes, ma'am.
Siddhant, we cannot hear you, Siddhant.
Here, the Lord Krishna is addressing Arjuna as a Bharat, and he is saying that you should control your senses. Objects should not be controlled by senses, cannot be controlled. So, whether it is sad or whether it is happiness, whether it is distress, we should always remain equalism, neutral. We should not be very sad. We should not be very much happy. We should always be remain neutral, even though if we are suffering from happiness or sadness, because we should control our senses. Learn and try to control our senses.
Thank you, Buaji. Okay, who is explaining next? Rupashri ma'am.
In this
English.
shloka,
Sure.
Krishna, Lord Krishna, ಹೇಳು. In this shloka, Lord Krishna is addressing Arjuna as, O son of Kunti, that how we need to be like senses. We shouldn't give too much attention to senses. Whatever we experience, it is like everything is temporary. Just like the Krishna has given the example of heat and cold. Just like we experience hot weather or cold weather, everything keeps coming and it keeps going, so nothing remains with us. We need to not get yielded to whatever comes with the senses, and we shouldn't lose the actual goal, or like focus for towards the soul, which is salvation. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am. Thank you. Anjali ma'am.
That's fine. So yes, ma'am. So in this shloka, Lord Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna as Kunti Putra, as Kaunteya, and he is telling to control the senses. So we should not too much dependent on the senses, like whatever it comes, happiness or sadness. We should not feel too much, like how the summer and winter, it will go off and it is temporary. So we should not worry too much, and if the senses should control us, we should not control the senses. Sorry, senses should not control, we should control the senses. So he is telling Arjuna that okay, you sustain or you take care all these things, and then that's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Akriti.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please tell.
The Lord Krishna is telling that the sense of the sad, we should try to we should be after that it become old. Even it's like the same when you get a new red colored dress or favorite color. Even if you get that after after one day you like to wear it, and the next day you say it's too old. I didn't want it anymore. I want for it.
Okay, thank you. Nalli ma'am.
So here, in one shloka, that this body is temporary, so it just it is suddenly new. Then after some time, it become old. So it keeps changing. So we should not be worried about the changing body, and we should be thinking that we are the soul. Another one, that we are not that we have some things that first day we are happy with that, and next day it becomes old and we are not interested very much. So, and so we should not be we should not be controlled by those things, but in turn we should control our senses.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Siddhant.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear now?
Now it is better.
Yeah, before my internet was like bad, I think.
Okay, now it
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah, so before Lord Shri Krishna was explaining that the spirit skips from body to body, and that while we're in like this current life and we have the current spirit, we should not have grow any attachments to anything or anyone. We should not grieve for anyone, because soon our spirits will skip to another body, and will still be here, but as a different body and as a totally different person. But that's why we should not grow any attachments, because soon we'll just skip bodies. Yeah. And then now here also Lord Shri Krishna is saying that we should not let our five senses take like control us, because our five senses control our emotions as well. So for example, if you, let's say you like the taste of let's say candy, we should not grow attached to that, as relating to the previous sloka, that we should not grow any attachments to anything or anyone, as life is not going to be forever.
Thank you, Siddhant. So the teachings what is given here, no, like some people ask, how do we control the senses? How can we? Really, how can we? Because we are born like we grow. Okay, whatever you like, you eat, you have. We express ourselves. Something good happens, we are happy. Something bad happens, we are sad. So before this, you will behave like this, but now today you have learned that Sri Krishna ji is saying to control. We should be neutral, like whatever comes in our life we should take as the command of Sri Krishna ji, and our primary duty, our daily routine is also our duty. We have to do as a duty. It is not that, no, like I'm not liking this work, so I will not do that work, even though it has to be done. Suppose I don't like cooking, so I will not go and do cooking. It is not good. I have to do the cooking, even if though I like or I don't like. So that is my primary duty. The same way we all have our primary duty, we have to do this. Even though our senses tell us that no, it is not good, it is bad, I am not liking it, I am not enjoying it. So we should not let the senses control us. We need to control the senses, that no, this is my primary duty, cooking is my primary duty, taking care of my family is my primary duty, I have to take care. Even though I'm not enjoying it, it doesn't matter. The same way, so many situations come, so many things come. I know I'm telling, but I myself was carried away by the senses very recently. Even though I was trying so much to control it, but the senses were controlling me. So it happens. But we need to keep on trying. We should not give up. We should keep on trying, keep remembering Sri Krishna ji to help us. No, keep praying him that okay, I'm trying to be in your path, the teachings what you have given me, help me to follow that path. So keep remembering him, surely he will come and help. And we should try to follow the path what is given by Sri Krishna ji, and all the teachings we need to remember again and again, because we are humans, we tend to forget. You know, even Arjun forgot. After the war was over, they were all settled down, they were all having the happy life. So Arjun completely forgot about the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He was enjoying his life. So when he recalled the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, when he went to Dwarka to meet Sri Krishna ji and he saw that Sri Krishna ji is no more on this earth, and he was very sad. He came back to Yudhishthir. He was very sad. Yudhishthir was very sad. Then suddenly Arjun recalled कि okay, Sri Krishna ji has given me some knowledge, that Srimad Bhagavad Gita which I forgot completely. Then he recalled the complete Srimad Bhagavad Gita and he got normal. He understood ki what he has to do. Then he told to Yudhishthir, now it is our time to go. We have to be neutral and let's go for the moksha part. So they left the complete dynasty and they went towards the forest. See, even Arjun, who was such a wise man, he forgot the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are the very normal human beings. Something very good will happen and we will forget everything. But we should try not to forget. है ना? Even whenever you remember, you should start praying. Shri Krishna ji, thank you so much. Something bad also happens. That time we are very angry. We say, oh God, Shri Krishna ji is not helping me. But still, you should try to pray and say thank you and sorry. I'm just sharing my experience. How I react to the things. Something bad happens, so I feel no, he is not helping me, even though I'm chanting so many shlokas. But still, I try to try to train myself. No, this is not the way. He is there, he's taking care of me. I have to remember him. Because we all are humans after all, right? And we are, it is long way that we have to go. And controlling the senses is the most difficult part, at least for me. It's very difficult to control if something bad happens, not to express. That is the most difficult part.
It's for everybody, ma'am. Controlling is hard.
Yeah, it's really very hard. Any doubts?
My
Yeah. Yes, Akriti.
I